Welcome back to the AAA Insurance 200, presented on speed by the Expendables. A great crowd on hand here. They have been sticking it out in the very warm temperatures today. 90 degrees now. We're closing in on 8:15 local time. Humidity 63%. It's been a sticky day. Forecast is clear, and that is a beautiful thing. Our starting grid's going to roll across the bottom of the screen. Timothy Peters, with his second career pole, will lead the field to the green flag tonight from the outside line. We're going to take a look at our ZMAX track description.
See this racetrack, incredible, really. You see the banking in the corners, only 7.5 degrees, but it's really a little flatter than that down on the bottom of the racetrack. It's so inviting down there. People want to get down there, but it's hard to get that power down and get up off the corner with the guys on the outside.
Take a look at our race analysis, brought to you by the Expendables, in theaters August 13th.
$480,000 these guys are racing for, but more importantly than that, Phil, is this pit window. We could see some strategy that could lead a guy from a 10th, 15th, 20th place starting spot up toward the front, try to get that track position and then hang on to it.
In the Truck Series, we like to shine a light on a few different drivers during the race, and right before, let's get a little update on those drivers in our speed spotlight. We begin with Ray.
Well, Rick, it's always fun when we come to a short track to watch the rookies. Many of them in the field tonight. We've got 3 of them that are making their first start, and that includes Nick Hoffman there in the number 63 driving for the Mittler brothers. His dad has been in racing pretty much all his life. His father, Darrell, works at Pro Motors, and they really believe they've got a good piece tonight. Nick Hoffman says, I got to get good at this because I'm tired of running dirt late models. I want to move up. Here's his first chance, driving tonight in 63. Adam?
Johanna Long makes her career debut tonight as well, Ray, starting in the 15th position. She, too, has came up through the ranks, driving late models. Tonight, she's driving for Billy Ballou Motorsports in hopes that she can impress NASCAR and be qualified to run in both Nashville and New Hampshire later this season. And if you look at the hood, you see Riley Children's Hospitals there. She is proud to be supporting that local organization racing here tonight at ORP. Bill?
Adam, I want to shine a spotlight on 18-year-old Florida high school honor student Ryan Rust. Ryan's run open wheel modifieds in Florida. His sponsor is FireStop, a fire suppression system for Class A and B fires. He's excited about this opportunity to race with the best, and his goal tonight, Michael, is to finish.
That's a great goal. Gentlemen, I'm going to shine my spotlight directly on Bristol, Connecticut's Michelle Theriot. The 24-year-old rose off from the 30th position in Andy Hillenberg's Chevrolet. Michelle is looking to make laps and gain experience. In addition to her 4 NASCAR Camping World Truck Series starts, she's raced in NASCAR's K&N East and West Series, ARCA, and the Pro Cup Series. Guys, she's a winner. She's got a Legends Car Championship 3 times over in her division.
Our director is going to paint some pictures for you tonight using cameras from inside the trucks. On board with Austin Dillon, he'll start in the 12th position. We also ride along with the Toyota sponsored onboard of Timothy Peters. He starts up front, so that'll be an interesting watch from his position. Jason White carries one of our cameras starting from the 24th position, as well as Matt Crafton starting in the 4th position. He'll also carry a camera. We'll see how Matt does here at ORP tonight. Let's head back trackside with Ray Dunlap.
Well, Rick, when you look at that front row, you may think Kyle Busch is on the pole. He's actually on the inside because Timothy Peters picked the outside. But when you look at Kyle's Truck Series numbers at this track, they're really not that impressive. Lots of drivers would love to have a couple of top 10s, but that's uncharacteristic for this driver. He's got 2 nationwide wins at this track, and I think he's a threat for the win tonight at ORP, and maybe for all 3 races this weekend. Adam?
Ray, there's no doubt about it. O'Reilly Raceway Park is one of the great venues in all of NASCAR. Short track racing is where the Truck Series was born, and there's one driver who's liked it every step of the way. We're talking about Ron Hornaday. He has recorded more short track wins than any other. Right behind him, Mike Skinner. They are very, very impressive in what they've been able to do at these kinds of tracks throughout their career. But the one thing we should mention about Hornaday, Skinner, and Setzer, none have won in 2010. Each is hungry here tonight. We'll see if one of those guys is able to get it done.
And one of the names not on that list was Bodine, the guy who hasn't had success on the short track. He's never won on a short track, even though he's been very successful in the trucks.
He slays him on the 1.5 miles. So.
Hey, Phil, how cool is it to get a win in Indy? I mean, look at the atmosphere here tonight, the packed crowd. These guys just, they don't care if it pays $480,000. They want a trophy from Indy.
Michael, you would know that. I don't know that, but you would know that, exactly.
The pace car has left the racetrack. That means the field now is in the hands of The 17 of Timothy Peters, grabbing his second pole earlier today. On the inside will be Kyle Busch, one of the hottest drivers in all of NASCAR. Coming out of turn number 4, we're going short track racing from ORP.
Great jump by Timothy Peters. He does take advantage of that high line, puts Kyle Busch in his rear view mirror.
Good move by Timothy Peters. You know Kyle Busch wasn't going to give him a fake.
2 and 3 wide around this racetrack early on as everyone's sorting out, looking for positions and spots to move up to. The preferred line on this racetrack is actually up higher.
It is, but right now when your tires are brand new, you can make some work done on the bottom of the racetrack.
You're going to go wherever the guy in front of you isn't. If you got to run on him, you can go ducking down to the bottom. The thing that's interesting about this track, Rick, is up high you've got a lot more grip. Obviously down low it's a shorter way around, but those two lines converge when they hit the straightaway, and that's when you see problems.
And we've seen a few drivers get very close to those outside walls coming out of 2 and out of 4. I think we're going to see more of that tonight.
They're going to be a lot closer than close. They're going to be against those walls up off the corner.
Early on, it's Timothy Peters out front. Kyle Busch runs second. Matt Crafton, Hornaday, and James Buescher are your top 5. Hornaday all over the back bumper. That 88 of Matt Crafton now battling for the 3rd spot.
You know, in years past, we would come here and say, okay, the outside groove is the place to be. You want to get in your pit window and stay out and get track position. I think last year we saw more passing done at this racetrack on the bottom than we have ever seen.
Skinner sideways as he came out of turn number 2.
And we've seen more trucks sideways at ORP than we do anywhere all year long. It's because the exit of these corners, these guys down in the garage area were talking about how difficult it is to get hooked up running off these turns. You carry a lot of speed on this short track. It's 5/8 of a mile. You get wound up really strong. And when you mack the gas, there's a lot of momentum, and it's hard to get it hooked up.
Saw the 13 of Johnny Sauter peek to the inside of the 30 of Tom O'Dine for just a moment. Remember, Johnny's truck was so good in practice, trying to get to the inside, can't quite get the power down in order to do it. Now that was a great exit of the corner for Johnny Sauter.
Gave Todd a little shove there in the middle of the corner, got Todd out of whack, and then drove it deep down into turn 1. Can he complete the pass? Looks like he's going to make it.
What a great shot.
David away from Todd Bodine.
David Starr is trying to do the same thing there.
That shows you this racetrack right there. The differing grooves that you can run here, and the consequences of running one over the other. Look at Todd Bodine gets a strong run off the corner. David will dive back to the bottom in turn 1.
3 drivers have been to victory lane here in this field. Mike Skinner, Ron Hornaday, and Dennis Setzer driving the 92 tonight.
Watch as these guys go down in the corner here. There's so much room down there. It's so inviting. Austin Dillon said, look, give me some of that bottom.
But look, they all come to the same spot when they get to the straightaway. That causes a major problem. Or it can, of course.
Yeah, Todd Bodine staying up high. We see the 81 of David Starr trying to work on the bottom of the racetrack, as is the 3 of Austin Dillon. Those 3 all fighting for 8th, 9th, and 10th right now.
Remember, just a couple laps ago, Johnny Sauter was able to get by Todd Bodine. As we see David Starr pull up beside him again, there's a battle for 11th and 12th. And now Johnny Sauter has put about 6 or 8 truck lengths now on Todd Bodine.
Ray Dunlap, what's happening with Eric Almirola?
Very, very tight, Rick. He said the truck is absolutely plowing through the center. And Richie asked him if there was any difference in the ends. He said, yes, turn 1 and 2, much worse. And we've got a big crash in turn 1. 87 blew a right front tire or a motor.
Chris Jones into the wall, it looks like, in the 87. That brings out our first caution.
Right front tire went down on that truck for some reason, Phil. And Ricky Carmichael's come to pit road as well. Maybe some contact between those 2 trucks.
Ricky's truck is overheating. You see the steam coming from the base of the windshield. They're going to pull some tape off that truck. They can do this right now. They need to get back out there, though, and stay on the lead lap.
Man, after only 10 laps and having that much problem with heat, it makes you wonder if he got into something with the front of the truck and closed in his radiator opening, because they couldn't have missed it that far, surely.
They got done with his pit work, and they sent him on his way. He will stay on the lead lap. There he is, still with steam coming at the base of the windshield.
And you can see there was no damage to the front of that truck, so obviously just had a little bit too much tape on it.
That's Chris Jones out of his truck, taking a look at the damage. Here is after the contact was made.
I think Chris did a nice job of getting that truck slowed down. We caught a glimpse of that truck from the right side, and fairly minimal damage for cutting a right front tire down.
He just couldn't turn left when he got to the end of the front straightaway. There's black marks that slide right into the wall, and major damage to that truck.
Shadows getting a little bit longer here at ORP as the sun is setting. There's Delana Harvick, owner of the 2 and the 33 here in the Camping World Truck Series.
And Richard Childress, owner of the 3.